Superman issue 2, Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reis on this one. Obviously Connor's not reading it because he's a filthy non-Bendis reader.
Oh man, you missed one of the greatest cameos. You missed one of the greatest cameos of all time.
So here's the thing. So Rogozar, we see Rogozar in the Phantom Zone now, right? Because we were speculating, did he have something to do with pulling Earth into the Phantom Zone? It turns out no. He actually is surprised that as we are, the Earth's just there now, and he's about to attack Superman. He's like, no, actually, I need an army. This is an opportunity, and he like backs away with a sick smile on his face. It's like a good little moment. But before that, when he first goes to the Phantom Zone, he's like, his narration's all, what is this place? Oh, this is where Krypton sends its criminals and its junk and its
trash.
It's trash.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he stumbles on to Nuclear Man from Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, rather.
Quest for Peace. The
Yes.
Quest from Peace is what the U.S. is doing right now.
So we get Nuclear Man, a comic, and do you know what this reminded me of actually in terms of how he's treated? It's very much just for some deep Godzilla reference in here for everyone. Godzilla Final Wars, which was the final Japanese Godzilla movie before they did Resurgence a couple of years ago, but back in 2004 they did Final Wars, and it was full of all these cameos from all these different monsters from all the different franchises over the years. The American 1998 Godzilla from the Matthew Broderick movie showed up at one point, and Godzilla beat the shit out of him in about 10 seconds. That's what this was. Rogol Zar just decimates Nuclear Man in like 2 pages.
It was great.
It's beautiful.
That one kind of that hurt my heart a little bit, but it is Nuclear Man and Superman 4, and it kind of deserves that treatment. So just seeing Zar go like that.
It was so funny, Matt. So funny.
Yes.
I was
I'm reading it at work, and it's early, and my boss is sitting there, and I'm reading Superman, and I went, oh, holy shit. And she goes, what? And I showed her, and she goes, oh, Superman 4. So it's like, it's instant. Like, even people that don't read comics, and so just for that moment, it was pretty great. Like,
yeah. Honestly, it revealed on Twitter that this was going to happen, that we were going to see him, but I'd forgotten about it. And then, I turned the page, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Nuclear Man," and I just started I started cackling. It was just such a nice moment. So obviously, the main bulk of this issue, though, is Superman being like, "Hey, we're in the Phantom Zone now. How'd that happen?"
Yep.
So
going to the different Justice League members for,
yeah, he's got
so they're come to him for help, but he's also reaching out to them for help because this is something like, it's not just a Superman thing. The Earth's in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. So we get the mind link from Jean for all the different members, and they are like, they're seeing him, like, we're seeing all they're dealing with situations like, Flash is in London, Plastic Man's somewhere, Batman's doing a thing. They're all over the place, doing various things, and so basically they're all too busy, and he's still trying to figure it out. And he goes to the fortress. We see that he's like, there's like some things that happen right away, like he's saving the space shuttle, because obviously when it all transports to the Phantom Zone, certain things like that start to go haywire. So he has to go save some things and stop some disasters. And they quite rightly ask, hey, how long can the Earth survive if it's not rotating around the sun anymore? Like, just simple little questions like that. What happens now that the Earth is taken from its orbit? Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But the big thing that happens though is we get to the end of the issue, and I got very confused for
as did I.
Yes. So the Flash comes into the fortress that was, and he's like, "Hey, is that the Phantom Zone projector?" And Superman's like, "Yeah, that's the one." And he's like, "Oh, that's not big enough for a planet." And so there's some banter between them as they're talking about the possibilities. And Flash is like, was this Luthor? Was it Brainiac? Was it Joker? Like, this feels like something Joker might do if he could get his hands in the tech.
Yeah, and so it's Flash, but it doesn't sound like Barry. And this was like, Bendis, what are you doing, man? Like, you're all over the place. And then it keeps going, and
then he collapses.
Where does he? Yeah.
He collapses. He collapses, and Superman catches him, and he's like, "I've got you." And he calls Batman and Co, and he's like, "Hey, something's happening. Like, we have to do something here." And he pulls off his hood, and he's got red hair.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Wait, is that Wally?" And I'm like, I'm confused, because in the previous page he called him Barry. Like, he actually did call him Barry in the previous page. And then once he's got him in his arms, he's flying him up to like try and get help. He says, "I know, Jean. I forgot. I think I forgot which Flash I was for a second."
Mm-hmm.
So something weird's going on because this appears to be Wally in the Flash suit, but he thought
Yep.
it was Barry at first.
But he's wearing Barry's suit because we all know his suits. The last time we saw him was different.
Yes.
Yeah, the Kid Flash version, that's all red and whatnot. So yeah, so I got there and I was like, oh, it makes sense. Because even when I was reading, I was like, this feels like Flash from the Justice League cartoon. So, and that was Wally. And then I get to that page, I was like, red hair.
Which actually makes it very impressive that he nailed that voice
Yeah.
so much that you're like, this doesn't sound like Barry. This sounds like this version of the Flash.
Exactly. So, yeah, thought that was pretty. I mean, it's a mystery, that's for sure. Like, is it just the Phantom Zone? Is there something more going on here? Is there some psychic kind of thing going on and whatnot? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. And again, I'm upset that we have to wait. Like, this is becoming a Bendis thing, you know. I also want to talk about the beginning, which we skipped over, was a bit of Rogolzar's history.
There's a flashback scene to a war between Tamaran and Thanagar.
Yeah, and you see, I was like, is that Starfire's dad? And sure enough, upon a Google, it's what's his name, King Mariner, I want to say.
I'll leave that to you, Matt. You can get that. So yeah, this is 497 years ago. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's many years ago. It's Planet 497.
Many years ago on Planet 497, and it's uncharted.
Yes.
So it's looking like a conquest. Like the two sides are just fighting over this planet, and so the King of Tamaran gives this rousing speech, and the Thanagarians will be sorry they ever stepped foot here, and they charge, and you see the Thanagarians coming in, and the king sees that Rogolzar is leading the Thanagar army, and he's like, "Oh no, we're leaving. They can have this planet," which I think is super interesting. In that, here's the shadow character that is seeming now to he has a different impact now across the cosmic section of DC. Yeah. Like if he's getting involved in wars between Tamaran and Thanagar,
it's worth mentioning that they know who he is because he says they brought Rogolzar. He's like retreat. Like he makes a call based on that. He knows who he is. He has cred. He has reputation amongst these people. So that's interesting. It's very interesting.
So we'll see where that goes, and if he has any more cosmic, because we know there's stuff going on with the Green Lanterns with him.
Which is actually worth mentioning. No one knows where any of the Green Lanterns are.
Yeah.
So they may have just all been off Earth when they get taken. I mean, that may just be as simple as that, but they can't find any Green Lanterns.
We also know that when he was being organized, like the when from the Man of Steel series, when Rogolzar was operating, there was that quintessence of aliens. And Rand was involved, I want to say, at one point.
Yeah, there was a Guardian. There was
a Guardian. Yeah. So how this impacts the cosmic section, and more on that when we get to Supergirl, because Supergirl plunges way more into this, which is really cool. I like that there's this synergy between the books right now. But no, and Ivan Reis, the art, he's great at Superman. Like, it gives it a Saturday morning cartoon kind of feel. So, and I like that in my Superman books.
Yeah, no, it's just great. I've got a cat in my lap here, cousin Chaos. So no, it's this was another great issue. I thought I'm super into this run at this point, and like you say, like there's a moment where we thought, oh, he's getting Barry's voice wrong. This is weird. Oh no, wait, it's not actually Barry. Well played, Bendis. Well played.
Yep. Exactly.
And then it's still very confusing. I don't really know what it means, but he's like, I forgot which Flash I was there for a second. Cat, get your tail out of my face.
Well, it wasn't like you're like, oh, Bendis whiffed. It's like, oh no, he whiffed on purpose.
Yes, it was intentional. So
yeah, pretty great.
Pretty great. So we'll rate the book out of 10 then. Matt, what are you giving it?
Oh, so this is a solid 8. The art was great. The story. We got to see Nuclear Man, and then Tamaran. And I mean, come on.
I'll one up you. I'll go 8.5.
Oh yeah. All right.
Blast. I had a blast. Yeah, like I said, the art was good. Nuclear Man was a great little cameo, and I'm intrigued by what it's doing with the fact that this is having such an impact on everything. It's not just Superman. Like the entire Justice League are kind of aware of the situation, and there's more going on.